Imagine if you could discover the true personalities of the most feared figures. If you could suddenly see what they really looked like. Images never shown before. Through AI, we can travel through time. But what if the history of names like Billy the Kid, Wyatt Earp, and Jesse James is seen in a completely new light because of it? In this episode, we bring the truth of 20 legendary Wild West figures to life. Will this episode change history forever? Number 1. Born into slavery, he rose to become a legendary sharpshooter and found his freedom on the vast plains of the Wild West. This is Nat Love, better known as Deadwood Dick, an African-American cowboy. His 1907 autobiography offered a rare glimpse into the life of black cowboys and reinforced his mythical status. When we see his colorized portrait come to life, we capture the determined gaze of a man who chose his own path, regardless of the obstacles. From the world of cowboys, we move on to the enforcers of the law, starting with Bass Reeves. Number 2. He was known for an unshakable sense of justice, which also made him the first black U.S. Marshal west of the Mississippi. Bass Reeves was known for his impressive arrest record of more than 3,000 criminals. Reeves was a master of disguise and spoke several indigenous languages, which helped him in his work in the Indian Territory. In the shadow of the law were also figures who tested the boundaries of order, such as Tom Horn. Number 3. Tom Horn was a versatile figure in the Wild West, scout, cowboy, soldier, and ultimately a notorious hitman. He worked as a detective for the Pinkerton Agency and was known for his tough approach. In 1903, he was executed for the murder of a 14-year-old boy, a case that remains controversial to this day. Through the AI animation, we see his face stiffen, as if he is aware of the inevitable fate awaiting him. Another figure who pushed the limits of the law was Jesse Evans. Number 4. A notorious outlaw and leader of the Jesse Evans gang, active in the 1870s. Jesse Evans was involved in the Lincoln County War and known as a rival gang leader of Billy the Kid. Evans' criminal activities included cattle theft and robberies, and his gang spread terror in New Mexico. In the colorized and animated images, we see a young man with a confident grin, seemingly defying the dangers of his lifestyle. Number 5. Born in 1861, she was the life partner of Wyatt Earp and a well-known actress. Josephine was known for her strong personality. Her influence ensured that Wyatt Earp was remembered as a legendary lawman of the Wild West. When her portrait comes to life, we see a woman with a proud posture and a gaze that radiates both gentleness and determination. But where Josephine shaped the public image, others operated in the darkest shadows. Number 6. Jefferson Randolph, Soapy Smith II. He earned his nickname through a trick involving soap bars with alleged cash prizes inside. A notorious con man and gang leader in the Wild West, Smith built criminal empires in Colorado and Alaska, where he was known for his charismatic tricks and violent downfall. His life ended in a shootout in Skagway, Alaska in 1898. Smith was known for his quirky justice system, but there was someone even more famous for his unique approach to the law. Number 7. Fantley Roy Bean Jr., better known as the Law west of the Pecos, was a saloon keeper and self-proclaimed judge in Texas. He held court sessions in his saloon and was known for his eccentric and often humorous verdicts. Though he only sentenced 2 men to the gallows, he became a legendary figure in Wild West folklore. When his image comes to life, we see a man with a twinkle in his eyes. One of the most notorious outlaws who might have appeared in Bean's court was Billy the Kid. Number 8. Among all, certainly the most notorious outlaw of the Wild West, he became known for his involvement in the Lincoln County War and his reputation as a fast shooter. Billy the Kid, born Henry McCarty, claimed to have killed 21 men. His life ended at age 21 when he was shot by Sheriff Pat Garrett. Billy's youthful charm and tragic end made him a legendary figure in American folklore. In the animated images, we see a young man with a mischievous smile, seemingly ignoring the dangers of his lifestyle. In the end, we bring to life the man who ended Billy's life. Number 9. He was known for his flamboyant style and his involvement in numerous duels. His life ended tragically when he was shot during a poker game, holding the infamous dead man's hand. James Butler, Wild Bill Hickok. His reputation as a just but ruthless lawman lives on in countless stories and films. As his photo gains color, his ruthlessness becomes unmistakable. Number 10, known as a dentist, gambler, and gunslinger. He was a close friend of Wyatt Earp and played a crucial role in the gunfight at the Oakley Corral. John Henry Doc Holliday was known for his courage and loyalty. His complex character and tragic life made him an intriguing figure in the history of the Wild West. In the animated images, we see a man with a weary but determined look, accepting his fate with dignity. Holliday's close bond with Wyatt Earp led to one of the most iconic partnerships of the West. Number 11. Wyatt Earp was a legendary lawman and gambler, best known for his role in the gunfight at the Oakley Corral in Tombstone, Arizona. Together with his brothers and Doc Holliday, he confronted the Clanton gang in one of the most famous shootouts of the Wild West. Earp's life was later romanticized in films and books, partly due to the efforts of his partner Josephine Earp. When his image comes to life, we see a man with a cool, calculated gaze, ready to uphold the law. Number 12. He combined theater with real cowboys, Native Americans, and famous figures such as Annie Oakley. Cody's shows brought frontier life to the public and played a major role in shaping the myth of the American West. William Frederick Buffalo Bill Cody was an American soldier, buffalo hunter, and showman who spread the romantic image of the Wild West worldwide, his Wild West show. In the animated images, we see a man with a proud posture taking his audience on a journey through the Wild West. One of the stars of his show was the fearless Annie Oakley. Number 13. An exceptional sharpshooter who became famous through her performances in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. She broke gender roles with her firearm skills and became an icon for women's rights. Annie Oakley. Oakley performed for kings and presidents and was known for her modesty and dedication to her craft. Her legacy lives on as a pioneer for women in sports and entertainment. When her portrait comes to life, we see a woman with a confident smile, effortlessly enchanting her audience. Oakley's path crossed that of Sitting Bull, a native leader who also performed in Buffalo Bill's show. Number 14. His eyes reflect the power of his resistance against the U.S. government. Sitting Bull was a Hunkpapa Lakota leader. He was later captured and performed in Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. Sitting Bull's life symbolizes the struggle of Native Americans for their rights and land during the expansion of the United States. In the animated images, we see a man with a deep, penetrating gaze, reflecting the pain and pride of his people. His eyes tell a story written in blood but carried with dignity. Another native leader, equally fierce but with a unique story of resistance, was Geronimo, number 15. Geronimo, famous for his indomitable resistance against both Mexican and American troops. His guerrilla tactics and relentless endurance made him a symbol of indigenous resistance. Geronimo was a leader of the Chiricahua Apache. Even after his capture, he remained a legendary figure. And when his face comes to life in color, we see deep lines of struggle and wisdom, and eyes that forgive nothing and remember everything. From the mountains of the Southwest, we move to another legendary outlaw, the Sundance Kid. Number 16. A series of robberies and cold-bloodedness made him indispensable in the criminal enterprise Wild Bunch. Harry Alonzo Longabaugh, better known as the Sundance Kid, was a charming but dangerous outlaw. After a major manhunt, he fled to South America where his trail faded. He was never seen again. When we see him come to life in color, it's not hard to believe he left such an unforgettable impression. The charisma radiates from his face. His story is inextricably linked to his partner, Butch Cassidy. Number 17. As the partner of the Sundance Kid, Robert Leroy Parker was the leader of the Wild Bunch. He was known for his intellect and preference for nonviolent robberies. His bond with the Sundance Kid was legendary, as was their escape to Bolivia. Though his end remains shrouded in mystery, his legacy lives on in countless books and films. When we see his face move, we recognize the smile of a man who knew charm could be as powerful as a revolver. Cassidy always looked up to one person, a legend in his eyes, alias James. Number 18. He was Butch Cassidy's role model. Jesse James was one of the most notorious outlaws in American history, but also a folk hero to many. As leader of the James Younger gang, he committed countless bank and train robberies after the Civil War, positioning himself as an avenger against the North. His actions were violent, but his image was carefully cultivated as that of a Robin Hood of the West. When we bring his face to life, we see the sharp features of a man who could seduce and threaten with a single look. Behind those cold eyes lies no remorse, only conviction. Number 19. Imagine a woman cloaked in dust and rumor, carrying the grit of a gunslinger and the heart of a guardian, roaming the Wild West. That was Calamity Jane, the figure where truth and legend blur. She drank with soldiers, fought alongside cowboys, and claimed to be the lover of Wild Bill Hickok. But behind her rugged exterior hid deep loneliness and a restless hunger for recognition. AI-generated images reveal her with a piercing gaze and a stance both defiant and fragile. The next figure was known as the one where everything stopped. Their impact echoes deeply through history. Number 20. Pat Garrett was a sheriff and lawman best known for killing Billy the Kid. His act made him famous, but also controversial. Garrett later wrote a biography of Billy the Kid, contributing to the mythologizing of the young outlaw. However, that came at a cost. His own life ended violently when he was murdered under mysterious circumstances. When his portrait comes to life, we see a man with a serious gaze, carrying the weight of his decisions. His story concludes our journey through the souls of the Wild West. History as you learned it in school? Forget it. Here you get the raw truth. Subscribe now and never miss the hidden layers of the past. The next revelation, it's coming sooner than you think.